green sauce for some chicken tamales. Okay, recipe is 2 cups of tomatillos. I was going to try to buy some fresh ones, but nobody had fresh ones that looked any good, so I had to buy some canned ones. So that was 1 can of tomatillos. Okay, to that we're going to add 1 clove of garlic that's been minced. We're going to add about 1/4 of an onion that's been chopped. We're going to add 3 chilies that I've toasted. When I toasted, I put them on the grill on my hot plate and just kind of cooked a little bit. And we're just going to throw them in there, black skins and all. Jalapenos. The recipe calls for chili serranos, but nobody had any. Bad day to go cooking because nobody's got what I need. Okay, we also need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Now, if you don't want to go through the trouble of making this stuff fresh, you can buy the bottled stuff. It's just as good. But so I blended the sauce. This is what it looks like inside. Okay, and I'm going to taste test it and see what it tastes like. It's got a little bit of kick to it, not a whole lot. And I don't know that you want it that hot. I mean, it tastes good. Okay, we got our trusty little electric frying pan. We got it at 350, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of peanut oil. The recipe also calls for safflower oil, but I'm going to use peanut oil because that's what I got. I'm going to let the oil get hot. As Kristen says, hot pan, cold oil, food won't stick. Okay, you ready? Now, unlike the red sauce, this pretty much came out clean from the blender, so I'm not going to put any more liquid in here. Now, the recipe says let it cook for about 5 minutes, so I've got it at 350. I'm going to turn it down to a simmer, just to keep it from popping all over the place. That's what the green sauce looks like. The green sauce has been cooking for about 5 minutes now. And now what I'm going to add is I'm going to add the chicken that I cooked off earlier. Kristen went and bought 2 pounds of chicken for me. Parboiled it. I've already shredded it, and now I'm just going to add it to the green sauce. Dump it in there. I've already picked through it. It doesn't have to cook that long. I just want the green sauce to flavor the chicken some. And I will admit I'm going to cheat here. If it looks like I don't have enough green sauce made up, I do have some bottled green sauce that I'm going to use. Okay, green sauce is mixed in there. We're going to let that cook up for a while. About 2 o'clock, 2:10, we'll let that simmer for a while, then come back. I got this on a simmer. It's probably a high simmer. I'm just going to let it simmer for a while, just to make sure the chicken's cooked through. Let the sauce get in there. Yep, I'm going to turn it off. All the moisture has been absorbed by the chicken. I don't want it to get too dry. So we're going to shut it off and get to work on chicken tamales. Again, you start with a wad of masa at the bottom, not all the way at the bottom. And I just kind of mash it with my fingers. Now, I just took this masa out of the refrigerator maybe 10 minutes ago. I probably should have taken it out a little bit sooner because it's a little stiff, but it'll work. I'm just pushing the masa and letting it come up. What's left over, I take off and add to the next one. Just going to spread it on. Okay, see the tamale? Okay, so what you do is you fold it over in half, then you fold the bottom up and you give it a roll. That's all there is to it. Why do I time? I don't know. Okay. Fold it. Flip the bottom up. And roll it. You know, I'm sitting here doing this by myself, and I imagine if you got a whole bunch of people together, you can just whip right through these, have a production line going. But you know, I almost think that this way's faster than doing it by myself. We're about ready to get our chicken tamales going. Here is our boiler going into the bottom. Our strainer going into the bottom. I'm going to add 2 cans of chicken broth. See, it just barely covers the bottom. That should be plenty. I got 38 tamales out of that 2 pounds of chicken. This pan does hold a little bit more than 3 dozen. These aren't packed as tight as I'd like to see them, but they're in there. Okay, get my fire going. Get my towel wet. Okay. Wet towel on top. And finally the lid. Rattling away, and it is 3:31. I need to turn the flame down a little bit here and let them cook away. That boiler looks pretty neat, ain't it? I know you want to go out and buy one. It is about 4:35 or so. We're going to do a little check and see how our water level's doing. And for that I need my hot pad, and I need blueberry hot pad. Usually turn the fan on. Yep, I still see water down there. We're fine. We are getting ready to do our 5 o'clock tamale check. It's a little later than 5. It's 5:04. So, lift the lid, fan on. And again, the test is if it falls off from the husk, it is done. I'd say it's done. So off with the flame. You want to see what it looks like inside? Chicken tamale. Done.